This is awesome. Good morning, guys, from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Today, well, I know we are usually always smiling, happy, and that's just our natural demeanor here in Mexico, and probably overall. But we do have some bad news. If you watched yesterday's video, you may have seen, or you may have found out that Hillary hit her head. I think she has suffered a mild concussion. I wish this were some kind of joke, but she really isn't feeling.
It's not funny. It's really not.
She's even a little funny when her head hurts. So this is about as much as you're gonna see of her today. She's gonna have some bed rest, wear her shades, and not do any strenuous mental or physical activity.
We do have a good hospital to recommend.
Yes, we'll have to do a video on the healthcare situation last night. We're gonna leave La Huerta here. I'm gonna go to breakfast, and I'm gonna go see some charros. Festival going on is part of the celebration for Independence Day and all of those festivities. Unfortunately, I don't quite understand the significance, or I haven't learned yet of the significance of this festival and the charros and what maybe their involvement was in Mexican Independence Day. So I would love your input. Sorry today won't be a history lesson, but hopefully you can drop some knowledge in the comments below for me. Alright, it looks like we're about to get started here. Hopefully I can get some good shots for you. I'm going to try and watch them come down this street and then run to where they're going. So I'm going to work off some of that machaca I ate. But when I think of horses, when I think of cowboys and just the kind of clothes they're wearing, it makes me think of Texas. And I know that's probably way off, and I know Texas used to be Mexico's land, so obviously that's the reason. We'll talk about that. We'll talk a little bit more in detail about that later though, but for now, let's watch the show. This is awesome. Braver than I am. Made a home, and that was awesome. The costumes, the horses, the music, all of it was super cool. It goes back to what we talked about in our Why Did We Move to Mexico video. I think it's, whether we knew it to begin with or not, it's to experience things like that. Now, again, I don't fully understand the meaning of it all, but I think it's just like it's a parade. It's a show of your culture, of what I understand. It does seem weird to see horses and cowboys like on the beach. That felt strange to me, whether it's in Mexico or in Texas or anywhere else in the world for that matter. Just horses at the beach or cowboys at the beach seems a little weird. But I did want to say something earlier in the video, and maybe the title might suggest something like this. A lot of this stuff reminds me of Texas cowboys, the hats, the horses, the whole thing. When I think of cowboys, I think of Texas. But I think that just goes to show that we have, as cultures between the United States and Mexico, and really all throughout the world, we have more in common than we like to believe, or than the news likes us to believe. It's easy to want it to divide us. It's easy to see the differences in our skin color potentially, or the foods that we eat, or the music that we listen to, the language. All that is, on the surface, very easy to say, ah, that's so different. But I think when it comes down to it, we have so much more in common. A lot of that has to do with sharing history, unfortunately, with some of the land that we may have occupied at the time. You know, same thing with when we went to Guadalajara. A lot of it seemed very European, had that feel to it, and obviously there's a lot of Spanish and French influences in Guadalajara. So it's the same all throughout the world. I walk away thinking, and we do this all the time, we like to point out the differences for us in the culture and the food for us here in Mexico. But it's really all not all that different. I've said it to someone else before in the comments. To me, it used to seem weird to eat corn tortillas with your meal. For some reason, I just could never understand that. But for some reason, I love eating cornbread with my meal, and it's essentially the same thing. And every culture has something pretty similar to like rice and beans, or some type of cornmeal, cornbread, and with some type of soup. It might be different meats in there, it might be cooked a little bit differently, but it's all relatively similar. And I think it's important for us to sometimes, instead of taking so much time to figure out how we're different and why we hate each other, or why one culture is better than the other, or whatnot, I think we need to stop, pause, and recognize that we're all way more similar than we want to believe. I'm gonna go back to work. We're going to show you some more views of Vallarta, because I know that's why you really watch these videos, and we missed out on doing that yesterday. And we'll talk with La Güera when the workday is done for me. I thought too late to start giving you some views of Vallarta. Then it started raining, and it started raining on the camera. So I apologize about not getting too many views of that for you, but we had a lot of awesome shots. The charros, I almost said churros. La Güera, how you feeling?
La Güera with the short hair. I'm okay. Okay.
What did you do today? Just lazy around?
A lot of nothing.
That's really not like you. I don't know, like, obviously people see you being crazy and stuff on camera, and they probably think that, like, when Hillary has a day off from anything, she gets more done in her day off than I get done on like a hard work day for me.
I just want to do so many things when I have a free day, but today I just laid low. I'm feeling better. I have a dull headache. I feel a bit sensitive to light and sound.
Can we tell people, is it too soon to tell people how this happened to you?
No, it's not too soon. We got out of the cab and I opened the umbrella because it was pouring, and I took a couple steps and there was like a corner of a sign with like these big metal poles that came, and so like there was no post sticking all the way down to the ground. It wasn't like a pole like I originally thought. So there, I couldn't see it because I had my umbrella, so like the edge of it just hit the corner right in my noggin. That, I think I'm on the mend.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll see more of you tomorrow for
we will.
El Grito.
I'll be good tomorrow.
Tomorrow we are ready for El Grito. We have had a lot of comments about El Grito and how we're supposed to do it, how we're not supposed to do it. But either way, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
We're doing it.
Either way, we're doing it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully Hillary doesn't hit her head. We might have to get a helmet for her. Be sure to check in tomorrow. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell that we get notified
every time
we upload a new video, and we will see you mañana.
Adios, amigos.